And that is why exactly the reason behind the investment that has been made by Facebook into Geo is basically to use the power of WhatsApp to be able to link the groceries with the, to create that hybrid model that Mank has been talking about. Thank you.
So my question, Patricia ji, is that this rally which has happened has been on the back of Reliance. Mostly Reliance has gone up by 130%, which makes up for about 12% weightage, I believe, of the Nifty. So aren't we reading too much into the rally, whereas the major stocks like SBI hasn't moved much from 170 to maybe 180, 185, and other stocks, even banks, who are the basic make up the 30-35% of the Nifty, they haven't moved back, and there is a weakness under their feet. What is going to be happening, because they are coming up with very low moratorium figure, that 8%, 12% have opted for moratorium, which is giving a boost to this. But how much caution should be there, because there are questions regarding the near term behavior of market also in the chat box.
So, in a way, you are right. But this focused, concentrated rally is not only unique to India, as Mayank has been mentioning. FANG stocks have taken Nasdaq to a next level, actually, and in India, particularly the HDFCs and Infosys and the leading IT companies, these 6, 7 stocks actually the rally has been concentrated, and of course led by Reliance in the current rally. This has happened, and in a way, that's why I did mention that the mid cap have not yet kind of participate to that extent in that rally, and certainly small cap have certainly not, and that shows that there is a nervousness in the minds of people, and as clarity emerges for these businesses, then only the rally, they will rally, but that looks a long shot for the time being. On the other hand, as far as you mentioned about the state bank or the bank thing, you try to understand RBI says 8% NPAs will become 12%. That's a 50% rise. So they may be low, but from the current 8% to 12%, that's a 50% rise. So to that extent, we are getting, and they are mentioning it can actually go up to 14%. So that is not a small number. So see, there is a threat of rising NPAs affecting the balance sheets of banks, and already talks of recapitalization is happening. Some of the private sector banks like Kotak and others have already preemptively recapitalized themselves or are in the process of doing so. So yes, so when we are reading into the rally of the pivotal benchmark, that is Nifty or Sensex, yeah, that has been a result of a very concentrated rally, but it's a part of that. The rest of the stocks in the leading stocks which form that indices, the Sensex and the Nifty, they have also gone up to some extent. Many of them have gone up, many have not. But yes, the broader market has not fully participated in the rally. They've just moved up from the lows of March 2020. Mayank, if you would like to add anything to this.
No, that's fine.
So there are questions on whether the SIP should be continued despite having given almost nil return in last decade, 5 years or 10 years, as we spoke.
So again, yes, there has been a widespread concern lately about the underperformance of active mutual funds, particularly vis-a-vis the large cap active actively managed large cap funds vis-a-vis the indices, because of exactly this. The rise in the indices have been so concentrated with 5, 6 stocks, and when a mutual fund manager has to manage a fund, he cannot manage with just 5, 6 stock. He has to manage a diversified fund. So he has to, and mandatory for it's a SEBI mandated restriction also, that you cannot invest more than 10% in any individual stock. So particularly after the 2018 move by SEBI to standardize the market cap wise standardization of mutual fund equity funds as large cap, large and mid cap, small cap, and mixed cap and what constitutes them, this underperformance has happened. But over a period of time, this will get diluted, I'm sure. So, and particularly in the small cap and mid cap, things will be much better, as active management will certainly be much superior to passive management in those indices. So I think SIPs over a long-term period, although in the 2-3 years they have disappointed, over a long-term period they will not. And I can say this for sure, having spent almost 24 years in mutual fund advisory. It's a passing phase. Every investment style actually goes through their autumns and springs. Every fund management, every management style goes through their autumns and springs. Long-term investors have to last all of them.
This question perhaps Mayank can take, that whether the IT sector stock in India is, do they have steam left? Or my question would be similar to whether the Nasdaq has got further steam left, kind of the movement it had in this year, or should the caution should prevail regarding the IT stock?
So, see, this is, as I mentioned earlier, this is a behavioral change that is happening. And this is something that will continue. You know, the comfort of getting things delivered home, not having to go out, not having to, face the virus outside, etc. This will probably translate into permanent behavior change for us. And therefore, I think taking from that cue, the IT industry will obviously continue to do well in the long run. We will definitely see, as I said, a lot of copying of the American models into India, and probably similar companies in the US also coming over here and taking advantage of the huge economy that there is. Now, having said that, I would definitely temper the expectations of investors from here onwards. Probably you will not see these kind of performances in the price movement and returns that one has seen going ahead. That should definitely be tempered. But in the long run, I would definitely say that these companies will continue to do very well, and they will continue to give you returns.
One question which I had is that the kind of whiplash the Franklin Templeton winding up created, is it past us, or do you expect such things to be repeated in future with some more major credit failures, with market still being shaky states?
So should I take it, Mike?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I think in 25 years of private sector mutual fund history in India, all I can say is this was the first time this has happened, unheard of. And I think the fund house had to do it more from the point of view of being equitable for the existing investors and not making them vulnerable to entry of new investors after the collapse of the NAV due to de-ratings or temporarily NPS getting created. So, and as you have must have heard of that, when money is coming back into the system, all these investors are going to get paid gradually. This, so this, I think, Franklin Templeton, what they have done and is not necessarily a one-off case. It could happen in future, but it's very unlikely to happen in future. I think the fund manager there, in his just to give some extra higher return, has taken a little more risk, particularly liquidity risk at a time when of a crisis, when there is a run on the funds. At that time, the liquidity risk will become over heightened, and so at that time it will have problems in returning money. This kind of situation, I think, is likely not to happen going forward, because everybody would have now corrected themselves. You see, in 25 years, the manner in which in the last 2 years credit risk has come up, we have never seen this kind of credit risk emerging when the funds were very small. Today they are much larger also. So we have never seen this. So now perhaps we don't see this happening going forward. And having said that, let me also tell you, Franklin Templeton is one of the most respected fund houses globally, and so whatever they have done is not necessarily very bad. It's just that some the reading of the market temporarily may had gone a little haywire. This can happen to many fund managers.
Sir, here one question is: does it make a case of creating ratings for these mutual fund debt funds, so that investors can know that, because when they invest in other papers they know the rating, but when they invest in a Franklin Templeton ultra short term bond, they means no one is aware actually. So does it make a right case for rating of the?
See, I'll tell you, rating is a very, very double-edged sword, actually. You see, America, with all its debt to GDP ratio, is rated AAA, never ever got shaken up. And look at the way India, with so much of foreign exchange reserves, and is rated where it is rated. I don't. And look at AAA rated ILFS overnight becoming D. So rating agencies also need to now, reinvent themselves to be more effective, or I must say, to become relevant actually. So if they have not actually worked over there, what value they can add in terms of mutual funds, very hard to say. I think investors will do well to be with financial planners and advisors. That will be a better thing for them to do, because these guys are actually on the job and have a better sense of things. May not be perfect. Most people got caught on the wrong side of Franklin Templeton, if not on their credit risk fund, at least in their ultra short term fund.
Does Mayank, do you have any views on the PSU stocks going forward? Do you recommend it, or the kind of the disinvestment plan the government has? Does it bode well for PSU stockholders, or it should be avoided?